What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say hello to everybody that's out there. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me okay. As you come in, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you're B1. Let me know that you care about the Black community. Let me know if you are educating your kids. Let me know if you are an investor. Let me know if you run a Black-owned business, because that's what we're all about. We're all about making our people better because we are the original man, the original woman, and I don't think we can be defeated. So anyway, as you guys come in, hit that thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I have a big announcement I'm going to make, and I'm going to make the announcement toward the end of the podcast. So if you hang on to the end of the podcast, I'm going to really break this down for you. And also, I want to remind everybody that this podcast is on Spotify. So if you have Spotify on your phone, look up Boyce Watkins on Spotify, because y'all know how it is. When you get extra black and you're getting crunk on the black side, you know what it is. They're going to shadow ban you. You're going to find yourself getting shot down and deleted and all that. And so if you've been looking for me on Instagram, my Instagram that you can find me at now is Dr. Boyce Finance. Now, the good thing about it is that there are not as many people on that Instagram. And so that means that if you send me a comment or send me a note, I'm more likely to see it now. So there is a benefit to that. Also, if you want to stay connected in a platform that's not connected to Instagram, Facebook, and none of that other nonsense, just text the word stock to 31996. If you text the word stock to 31996, you can actually get Dr. Boyce profit alerts. This is from the Black Business School for free. This is to help you become a better investor. Give me a yes in the chat if you agree with me that we have to invest. Give me a yes in the chat if you agree with me that we got a plan for the future. Give me a yes in the chat if you agree with me that we are going to be on top. Give me a yes in the chat if you agree with me that we are the original man, original woman. We are the baddest people on the planet. We just got to start acting like it. I need you to start acting black. Y'all going to act black? Type act black in the chat if you hear what I'm saying, because y'all know I'm extra hyped today. I'm super hyped because actually I went on a flight today. I actually did a cross-country flight. I landed at this airport. Now, airports, in case you don't know, I'm getting a private pilot's license. Let me tell y'all about this. And just so you know, when I'm going through stuff, I share it with y'all because I end up using all these analogies that relate to my life. Well, I was flying through this airport, and it's what they call Class Charlie, Class C airspace. I think it was Class C. Yeah, it was Class C. Because Class B, Class Bravo is like JFK, O'Hare, those big, LAX. If you're a private pilot, you don't do that, right? So I was flying through the next level down, a Class C, and it was the craziest thing. And I was completely like trying to figure everything out, trying to make all the radio calls. But guess what? I did it, and I'm telling you, your boy's gonna be flying to a city near you. And actually, I've been doing something that we call in the Black Business School, we call this Dr. Boyce Live, where I'm actually doing live trainings around the country. If your city wants to do a training, if you have people in your clique that want to have me come in directly and do a training either on my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. I just did one in Seattle where I can come in and do a stock market or stock options training. We'll partner with you. The Black Business School, we will partner with you. So if you find a venue and put down the deposit, we will help you with the marketing. So anyway, now somebody says, fix the audio, please. Give me a yes. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me okay? Give me a yes in the chat if you hear me all right. Is there an echo or something like that? I'm a little bit concerned now. Cheryl says, fix the audio, please. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me okay, if I sound all right, because I don't want to sound crazy. So let me know how I sound in the chat, because I want to make sure we're good before we move forward. So Lisa can hear me. Tara can hear me. Can you hear me good? I'm coming through all right? Y'all got me all feeling a little bit sometimes. Okay. All right. So, yeah. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get started here. All right. So here's what I was thinking about today, right? I was thinking about the fact that as Black people, we have a big problem. And that problem is one that has consistently caused, a lot of issues. In some instances, we have a slight echo. I'm going to try to fix that a little bit later. In fact, maybe what I can do is shut down something that I think might actually help with the echo issue. So if there's an echo, I apologize for that. So here's the thing. We have a consistent problem in our community. And that problem is that we don't have anybody really working to solve our problems. One of the problems that we have as Black people is that we don't have anybody that's sort of sitting there around, just sitting around at a table, figuring out, what's going on with the Black community. How do we make the Black community better? How do we fix the crime? How do we fix the educational problems? In case you all don't know, let me know if the echo's gone, by the way. I hope I got rid of the echo. I think I might have gotten rid of it. If I haven't gotten rid of it, let me know. It's way better. Is it way better now? Is it way better? Can you hear me better now? Okay, good. So sorry for that. Um, I personally think that one of your biggest challenges as a community is that you don't have a think tank. You don't have a collective of really smart people who care about you, right? Before intelligence must come love. Before strategy must come concern. Before, when I remember when I was in school, I used to struggle in school. My grades were terrible. And I realized when I got older that what was missing was not education. What was missing was love. I did not feel that my teachers cared about me. And that was one of the reasons why I didn't listen to them. I didn't think that they wanted me to do well necessarily. Maybe they did, but they didn't show it. And I remember going to school and not feeling like I belong. Give me a guess if you've ever felt that way. And so, what I really think here that you're missing as a community, one of the things that we really need to sort of think about is, or ask ourselves, why is it that we don't have some collective of super smart Black people that come together on a regular basis just to talk about us? Why does that not happen? Dr. Claude Anderson talks about it a little bit in the book Powernomics. He talks about how there are think tanks for the white community that solve problems for white people, and a lot of Black people happily work for those think tanks. We'll sit around and solve problems for white men all day. There are think tanks for the Asian community that solve problems for Asians. There are think tanks for the Jewish community that solve problems for the Jewish community, and they deserve that. God bless them. But what is there for Black people? What do you actually have where you have your best and brightest, the smartest people in your community getting together to solve your problems and your problems only? There is not a lot out there. There are some pockets of effort. So I'm not going to say nobody's doing anything, but I am going to say that we're not doing enough. And so one of the things Dr. Claude Anderson actually talks about this in his book Powernomics, and he explains that this is one of the reasons why your problems don't get solved. Well, if your problems don't get solved, it's because nobody's solving the problem, right? Like I'm a math teacher, right? I taught math at the University of Kentucky, and if I put a problem on the chalkboard and I just put it on the board and it just sits there and nobody's looking at that problem, nobody's thinking about that problem, nobody's working on that problem, is that problem going to get solved? Give me a yes or no. Is that going to be good or bad? What do you think is going to happen to that problem if nobody's looking at it, nobody's thinking about it, nobody's working on it? Well, then it's not going to get solved. Nothing good is going to come out of that. So ultimately, one of the reasons that your problems don't get solved is because your smartest people are not working on the problem. They're sitting around at universities writing research papers that nobody's ever going to read, pleasing white folks so they can get jobs and raises and promotions and get tenure, or they're working for corporations that don't have anything good to say or do for the Black community. Maybe they do a little bit of charity. That's it. And so effectively, you have what China had this problem. You have a big brain drain. Your best and brightest are not pulled to your community. Maybe they want to be there, but they don't have the incentive to be there, or they don't have the economic ability to be there. This is one of the reasons why when I talk to our kids, I talk to them all the time about being economically free. I tell them, look, if you have things that you want in life, things you want to do, things, places you want to be, places you want to go, situations you want to be in, being economically free allows you to do that. Like money is connected to freedom. Wealth is connected to freedom. Having options might be related to owning options. If you own stock options, for example, then you might have more options because you've got other ways to make money. Do you understand what I'm saying? So ultimately, one of the reasons that Black problems don't get solved in our community is because a lot of our best and brightest are not economically free enough to spend the majority of their time working on issues that relate to our people. Now, I've stated the problem, and what I'm going to do is give you a solution. And I think you're going to like it. I really do. I hope you're impressed with this because this took a lot of effort and a lot of thought. And I believe this is we're actually literally going to make Black history this year. We're going to make Black history. And actually, before I jump into that, I'd like to ask you guys, could you please hit the thumbs up button? Thumbs up, share, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Because Black channels tend to get shadow banned, you got to make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. If you do not hit that bell, they will not notify you. I promise. They hide intelligent Black people. Now, if I was a rapper with 14 babies mamas, they'd be blasting my stuff out there. If I was somebody who just shot a Black person, that would be everywhere. If I was out here twerking or identifying as a little girl and shaking my booty or whatever as a grown man, that would be hilarious. That would go viral. But intelligence and Black intelligence doesn't tend to go viral. So I need y'all to help us go viral with this. And so please hit that thumbs up button and also hit that notification bell. Really important. That really helps us with the algorithm. All right. So let me hop into what I'm really excited about. So here's what's going on. So I had a talk this week I was in the grocery store, and my wife, she I forgot to tell her that I was going to the grocery store. She's like, "Boys, why didn't you tell me you was going to the grocery store?" But sometimes I go to the grocery store just because I'm just like in my flip flops and walking through the store looking for like stuff that's gonna make me fat. And so anyway, and my wife, I love her. If you're watching, babe, I love you. And so I was in the grocery store, and I get a call from a friend of mine. His name is Maurice Green. Now, let me tell you about Dr. Green. This is going to be really cool. Just hang on. This is a good story. So Dr. Green, he's like, "Yo, Boyce, what's up?" And I'm like, because he's like New York. And I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on, brother? How you been?" He's like, "Hey, we're holding the conference for the Black Doctoral Network around the same time as your conference." I said, "Oh, that's great. Now, let me tell you about the Black Doctoral Network. You might not have heard of them, but the Black Doctoral Network is the number one like organization for Black PhDs in this country. Every Black PhD I know is a member somehow of the Black Doctoral Network. I don't know how this happened. I'm like, Maurice, how did you get all these people to join the organization? But they're in there. My wife was in the Black Doctoral Network. Most of my friends were part of the Black Doctoral Network. Most of the PhDs that I know, and I love all of y'all, even if you're stuck on the plantation, I want to help you get off. I want you to be free so we can all get together and solve these problems, because I know for a fact that we've got enough smart people in our community to solve every problem that we have. I know for a fact that we are better at solving those problems than anybody else. I know for a fact that if we put our energy into it, put our foot in the green beans, so to speak, we could actually solve all these problems and fix our people within a few years. So I'm really enthusiastic about those of you that understand what I'm trying to say here, and I hope that you'll hear this and receive this. So anyway, so Maurice tells me this. He says, "Yeah, so your convention, you invited me to speak at your convention." I said, "Yeah, I'd love to have you on a panel." And he goes, "Guess where we're having our convention? Guess when we're having our convention?" I said, "Yeah, well, the same weekend as ours." I said, "Oh, so you can't make it?" He said, "No." He said, Guess where we're having the convention?" I said, "Oh, you're going to be in Atlanta. Wow, that's cool. We'll be in Atlanta too, October 20th through the 22nd. And he said, "Yeah, guess what hotel we're having our convention in?" I said, "No, not the Marriott Marquis. You kidding me? You're kidding me. Literally, we are in the same hotel in the same city at the same time as the largest organization of Black PhDs in the country. Tell me that ain't God." Like my mama is I gotta fix this because I love this statue, by the way. My wife picked it out, or she was with me when I picked it out, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world because I'm a soldier. I believe. Shout out to the soldiers out here. My mama is like a praying woman, and if my mama heard this, she would say that ain't nothing but God. She would say God did that. I think God did that, right? Because Maurice and I go back with this brother for like 10 years. And the organization is awesome, and the potential is like an intellectual version of a nuclear bomb. It's an intellectual version of a nuclear bomb. Can you imagine if we got most of the Black PhDs on code to sit around and literally figure out ways to solve problems for the Black community? Do you know how many problems would be solved overnight if we could simply fund their liberation? It would be letting a herd of lions out of the zoo. It would be like letting out a stampede of elephants, like they. You're talking about intellectual giants, and I'm telling you, I escaped. I was the Harriet Tubman. I got out of academia because them white folks are crazy. They treat you like crap and they disrespect you. But I would love it. I would just love. I dream of the day. I guess Martin Luther King had his dream, little white boys and girls holding hands. I don't want to hold hands with a white girl. I want to hold hands with my wife. I don't want to hold hands. Don't disrespect if you're a white woman. I just don't want to hold your hand. I want to hold a Black woman's hand, and that Black woman is my wife. But my dream is to have Black think tanks funded by the Black community with independent funding to allow our best and brightest to sit around and do nothing all day except think about problems in the Black community and implement those solutions. I know that we can afford it. The question is, can we visualize it? I know we've got the money, but the question is, do we have the will? We got all the resources. We have all the intellectual resources. The question is, are we going to visualize and mobilize, or are we going to sit and complain about the fact that white people aren't doing it for us? So I'm mentioning this to you as kind of an appeal. Look, the All Black National Convention is happening October 20th through the 22nd in Atlanta, Georgia at the Marriott Marquis Hotel. I am begging you to consider, at least consider joining us. It is not just a tremendous gathering. We already got 40 experts up in there. We already bought 40 experts. Maurice is bringing the cavalry. He is bringing the cavalry. They're in the same building, literally in the same building. So this to me is Black history. I cannot think of any other time you have had this many intelligent, highly educated, supercharged, brilliant, extraordinary, highly skilled Black people in one location. I'm serious. In fact, if you're in the Nation of Islam, we might need you to provide security because this is the intellectual version of like a drill rap concert in Chicago. Like, it's gonna be explosive. Literally, ain't nothing gonna get killed except white supremacy, though. This ain't a concert where Black people are gonna get taken out. This is one where white supremacy gets taken out. And I'm asking you, and the URL's on the screen, allblacknationalconvention.com. I would love to have you guys in there. If you have expertise, this is the best opportunity to connect with people who think like you. If you are a smart Black woman looking for an intelligent Black man, I just heard from Jedediah, who met his wife Keisha at our convention 2 years ago. They just had a B1 baby. Literally, they had a B1 baby. If you are looking for people that just you want to make them into your new family members or your new best friends, the All Black National Convention is a place to do that. It's not just a place to think and learn and grow. It's also a place where you can actually have a whole lot of fun. You have a ton of fun and you'll connect with a lot of great people. And also, if you have a business, you can market your business. A lot of you are looking for Black people to promote your business to, people who are ready to buy Black, who understand your challenges as an entrepreneur. I encourage you to consider the All Black National Convention as a way to do that. All right. So anyway, with that being said, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And also, I want to remind everybody, if you want to get free Dr. Boyce profit alerts sent to your text message, just text the word stock to 31996. I'll also send you our $5 a day investing plan. Remember, we'll talk about racism, but we ain't here to complain about it. We're here to come up with solutions. So one of the solutions is the $5 a day investing plan that will take any family from poverty to wealth in less than a generation. Also, I'll send you a training I did that everybody loves called How to Make Money Without Working. All of this is free, courtesy of the Black Business School, where we have over 160,000 students worldwide that we serve. We charge you probably about 1/1000th of what you spend at a regular university, but we give you 100 times more. So we're actually the new millennium version of what college is supposed to look like, and we're also going to teach you the things you need to know. The other thing that's going to happen very soon is we're going to start reading. In case those of you that are in our Powernomics training every Wednesday night, shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. This week we're going to start a new book, and this book is called The Black History Reader. Now, there's a whole big debate about whether or not white folks are going to teach your kids about Black history in school. There's a whole big debate about what they call critical race theory. Well, are they going to let us learn about our history? Are they going to teach us what we need to know? And I'm going to tell you like this. I'm not dogging anybody in terms of what they believe and what they want to do. All I'm going to say to you is that I don't think anybody should be teaching you your history. I think that you should be teaching your history. And Dr. Claude Anderson wrote a great book called The Black History Reader. And you don't even have to read it. I'll read it to you. Come Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's totally free. Just go to boycewatkins.com and you can sign up. I'll give you free access to my life class. This is all free, courtesy of the Black Business School. So you don't need to pay any money. All you need to do is pay attention. In fact, let me just to show you how extraordinary this book is. I'm going to randomly pick a page in this book and read it to you. And I want you to tell me if this is something that you learned in school. Okay. So he has a bunch of questions about Black history. And he says, question 56. I just literally opened this page. His website is powernomics.com, by the way, in case you want to know where Dr. Anderson's books are. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. Question 56. What were some of the famous resorts built in America by Blacks during the 1900s that were killed off by social integration? Did y'all learn that in school? Did Miss Polly from the suburbs teach you about this in history class? History chronicles how black slaves escaped plantations to find or build safe havens called maroon towns and villages. Did you ever did you give me a yes or no? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Did your teachers at school teach you about maroon towns? Or did they teach you about resorts built by black people that were destroyed by integration? How many of y'all give me a yes or no if you learned this in public school? Let's keep going. Sometimes they built places to be together just to feel free and have fun. That's what we do at the convention. After slavery and well past the mid 1900s, Black Americans continued to build resort towns across America. Brighton Gardens and Idlewild in Michigan. Remember, shout out to Outkast. They did a whole movie about Idlewild. Shout out to Killer Mike, who's part of that crew. Killer Mike is my buddy. We ate dinner together when my wife and I were in Atlanta. American Beach in Florida, Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, and Highland Beach in Maryland were some of the most notable communities established for and by Black Americans who wanted to live with, spend their money on, have fun, and party with their own people. These communities were grand in size and rich in spirit. Brighton Gardens, an approximately 40-acre community, boasted of having the deepest freshwater lake in Michigan. American Beach's 200 acres extended along the beautiful sandy beaches of Florida's Amelia Island, and offered blacks in the southeastern states relaxation without humiliation. Martha's Vineyard, an island off the southern coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, offered a high-quality recreational opportunity for the likes of Paul Robeson, Adam Clayton Powell, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., as well as the elite of the northeastern states. This is y'all's history. Did y'all hear that in school? Did that white lady that taught your classes at school, did she teach you all any of this? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Let me know. Come on, let's be honest here. Did they teach you this? Did they teach this in college? Y'all, a lot of y'all got those $100,000 college degrees. You still sitting on the student loans. If you got all them loans, they had to have taught you this, right? You had to have learned this. Did you learn this? Yeah. However, the premier resort and recreational area that was known as the vacation spot that segregation built was Idlewild, Michigan. Idlewild was initially established by white developers in 1912, but was turned over to blacks in 1921. So they didn't want it. They gave it to us and we lit it up. That's what we do. That's what we make. We take everything mediocre and make it extraordinary. So they gave it away apparently because they didn't want it. And then we made it special. Like the other resorts, Idlewild began to be celebrated as a place for Black Americans to invest their newfound wealth and pride, and in turn become the most famous Black resort and recreational area in America. From the early 1920s through the 1950s, Idlewild was referred to as the Black Garden of Eden. Idlewild, that's wow. I mean, that captures the imagination. So let me keep reading here. Idlewild, let's see. So let's see here. The Black Garden of Eden. Idlewild offered a high quality living experience with summer homes, lakes, lodges, motels, bowling alleys, grocery stores, restaurants, nightclubs, taverns, riding stables, and a golf course. Idlewild's famous Paradise Club, Flamingo Club, and Purple Palace provided high-end entertainment and showcased such Black stars as Sammy Davis Jr., Bill Cosby, Moms Mabley, T-Bone Walker, Fats Waller, Billy Eckstein, Billie Holiday, Count Basie, Sarah Vaughan, Cab Calloway, Louis Armstrong, Della Reese, Dinah Washington, B.B. King, Aretha Franklin, the Four Tops, and countless other entertainers. The who's who of Black America owned lots and cabins in Idlewild, including Dr. Daniel Hill Williams, W.E.B. Du Bois, Madam C.J. Walker, and Joe Louis. Are y'all inspired by this, or am I just reading to myself? Do you understand? I need y'all to really realize when we talk all this stuff about all these great things that we can do as Black people, creating the Black Wall Streets and everything. I need y'all to just understand for a minute. I know this kind of sucks to hear, but you ain't done nothing compared to what your ancestors did. You ain't done nothing compared to what your ancestors did. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your ancestors, they apparently were in love with each other. You fell in love with the white man. And then you entered into an abusive relationship called integration. And you were stripped of everything that made you special and unique. And you went from being leaders and owners and builders to being beggars and scrubs, trying to barely pay the rent so you can afford to get through your student loans. Y'all got tricked, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm reading this and I have not read this before. This is why I do. Join us Wednesday night. Go to boycewatkins.com. You can join our Wednesday Powernomics trainings for free. I want to say this to the Negro naysayers who have an issue with us talking black and positive on this platform. They can come for free. If you're a Negro naysayer, you are welcome too. We want to educate you. We want to detoxify you. So instead of spending your time hating on somebody like me for trying to bring truth to you, maybe you can bring truth to yourself and then start loving yourself. Put as much energy into loving you and loving the community as you spend hating on somebody who's trying to do something different. I'm just a black man who's doing his best. That's all I am. I just want all of us to do our best. Let me keep reading here. Do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm going to finish reading this because I want you to know what happened to this beautiful black garden. This place is called the Black Garden of Eden. And I want you to know what happened to the Black Garden of Eden. They let snakes in the Garden of Eden. That's what happened to God. Y'all know the story in the Bible, right? You did the snake came along. And in our case, the snake was integration. The snake was all this assimilation. Maybe the snake offered you affirmative action. And so you traded in your land and your businesses and your property for corporate jobs and student loans and a trip to the suburbs. That's what you did. That's what you did. And so I'm gonna tell you what happened to this Black Garden of Eden. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. If you have not done it yet, please hit the notification bell. That's very important. Also, don't forget this podcast is on Spotify. If you look up my name on Spotify, you can find it there. So let's see what happened to this Black Garden of Eden. I'm gonna read the rest of this. I feel like I'm gonna end on a sad note. And I hate doing this, but I got to tell you the truth. So listen to this. Social integration of the 1960s killed most of the black resorts. When blacks were given a chance to sit with whites in Las Vegas, Reno, and Miami Beach, they quickly abandoned their own recreational communities. As recently as the late 1990s, a group of blacks who realized the value of what was lost to rebuild Idlewild, Michigan. Okay, they sought to rebuild. Sorry. Although there had been a modest revitalization, it is unlikely that Idlewild will ever be restored to its former glory. In the minds of most blacks, integration was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and blacks believed that white ice was colder. When they gave up their black resort communities, however, they gave up yet one more group of assets that once released can almost never be recaptured. That's page 171. The book is called The Black History Reader. You can go to powernomics.com and get all of Dr. Anderson's books. I don't know about you, but this man is a national treasure to me, and I know he's a national treasure to a lot of you. And I think it's very important that we at least get in the habit of picking our own heroes. At the All Black National Convention, there will be many other scholars and thinkers and leaders who should be national heroes. They're going to be black women who can sing, but you won't see them on TV because they ain't twerking. They ain't out here trying to show. They ain't rapping about their WAP. They're singing about love and success and dignity. They're not talking about getting on their knees and serving a man in order to get a bag of Cheetos. You're going to see men up there who are not rappers. They're not basketball players. They're not comedians. They're not 6'8", 240 pounds. They're not telling jokes. They're not busting raps. They're not rapping about killing black people or being on drugs. They're going to be black men who want to take care of their families, who want to lead, who want our people to win, who want to teach our children, who want to fight for something that's right. These are the types of men that come to the convention. So if you're in that category, if you want to be around people in that category, if you want to learn how to be in that category, if you want to break generational curses, if you're tired of the pain, tired of the discomfort, tired of losing, then join us in October 20th through the 22nd. allblacknationalconvention.com is where we're going to be gathered. That's the URL where you can get passes for your family, and the cost is quite reasonable. There are other wealth conferences and stuff like that that charge hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We keep our price as low as we can to allow us to still afford to have the event. We cannot make it free because freedom ain't free. We cannot make it free because we do not want black liberation brought to you by McDonald's. We cannot make it free because we ain't out taking money from the Democratic Party. If we were doing those things, then we could probably make it free. But remember, everything that you think is free ain't free. In economics, we have a saying called "There's no such thing as a free lunch." There's no such thing as a free lunch. Has anybody ever heard that? Give me a yes if you ever heard that. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So when people come up and they say, why isn't it free? If you want it to be free, if you want stuff, if you want to help the community, then you do it for free. You do it for free. And I say, well, first of all, when white folks give you stuff, you don't take stuff from, they don't expect it for free. They don't give it to you for free. That's the first thing. You'll go to Walmart, Kmart, Target, Nike, and spend money like crazy and not even think twice about it. Second of all, If it's free to you, then somebody's got to pay that tab. Well, who's going to pay the tab? Well, guess what? There's plenty of people who are not in your community who will say, we'll pay the tab. We'll gladly pay the tab. Paramount Pictures, when they own BET, we'll pay the tab and give you BET for free. And then next thing you know, they don't put poison in your oatmeal. Next thing you know, your culture is all over the place because you're getting a bunch of crap that somebody from up top decided to give you. So what I'm saying to you is that freedom ain't free, and you don't want the free stuff. You want something where you can make an investment and get a good return on the investment. And I guarantee you, if you come to the convention, if you don't walk away feeling like your family benefited or like you did not win or like you're not ahead or you're not in a better place than you were before, then let us know and we'll fix that. We will fix that immediately. But we've done this almost 10 years. Shout out to Killer Mike and David Banner, who joined us at the first All Black National Convention. We've had billionaire Mike Roberts there. The former chairman of the Air Jordan brand, Larry Miller, who's fighting for mass incarceration, who took Michael Jordan's company to a multi-billion-dollar company. He was there. Professor James Small, he's been there. So many great people have been there, and I really think you're going to love it. All right, so anyway, do me a favor, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And in case you wanted to see it, I wanted you guys to know we actually have financial flashcards. If you want to train your kids on wealth, I recommend they learn wealth early. The financial flashcards, these are the ones on credit, actually. So this covers things like, what is a cash advance? What is a variable APR? What is a revolving balance? It's an amount that goes unpaid at the end of the credit card billing cycle. The credit card companies make money off charging interest on revolving balances. Security codes. What is the cashback rewards? What is a Chapter 7 bankruptcy? What is a Chapter 13 bankruptcy? What does it mean to get a cosigner? So we actually have flashcards on credit, investment, real estate, all kinds of stuff. So if you are interested, if you want to train your kids on wealth at an early age, our scientists are working around the clock to give you tools to help you do that. Just visit financialflashcards.com. That's financialflashcards.com. I got the kids in the back. They that's their job. They literally ship out of my house. And so you'll be literally be getting stuff directly from me if you wanted to order some. So feel free to, because we're a small business. We're just trying to change the world, one brick at a time, and we're getting it done. And also shout out to our kids for helping us run this business, because I'm super proud of them, and they're super smart, and it's an honor to be a part of a strong Black family. All right, guys. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for tonight. I hope this conversation was helpful to you. I hope you understand when I tell you that one of the things that we need as Black people is we need a think tank. We need spaces where our best and brightest are sitting around, looking at our issues, solving our problems, making our people better. If we don't get that, then none of our problems will be solved. The Democrats ain't gonna do it. The Republicans ain't gonna do it. The Republicans really don't support reparations, and even most of the Democrats don't support reparations. And so that's one of our big challenges, right? So that's one of the things we got to work through. Now, somebody mentioned yay. Linus Den says yay. Is yay, like yay, hooray? Or are you talking about yay like Kanye West? Because Kanye West, last year, Kanye did call me during the All Black National Convention. I told him about what we were doing. He really liked it. But where we came up short was I really would love to see him spend as much money on the Black community as he spends on the Kardashian family. Like if I could get him to invest as much in Black people and building Black schools and building Black entities and businesses or powernomic centers around the country as he probably spent paying for Kim's new booty or whatever it was he was paying for, that would have been really cool. But it's his money. I can't tell him what to do, but I will tell you this, and I'm gonna say this, and knowing that I might piss somebody off by saying it. But I got to be honest. If we could get a lot of our celebrities who brag about how much money they have to invest in infrastructure in the Black community, that means school systems, that means organizations that create thousands and thousands of jobs, not a couple jobs for you and your homeboys, not a couple dollars because you running 3 chicken shacks. I'm talking about industry. It would flip this game right on his head. So I'm not telling him what to do. I couldn't tell Kanye what to do with his money. He's a grown man. That's his money. Just like I'm a grown man, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say. That's what it's gonna be. But at the same time, I really think at the end of the day, that's what you really need. You need the real men, real women to really step up and really make those investments at a high level, so we can develop that infrastructure. And then also, and I think, and Ice Cube tapped into a little bit of this. This is why I was very happy to work with Ice Cube when he did his political campaign. What Ice Cube did that I thought was very important was Ice Cube understood that as an entertainer, he could provide backing to the best and brightest in the community. He could use his platform and some of his resources to put them out front. and give those people a voice so they can solve critical problems. So for any celebrity watching, don't think that I hate you. Don't think I hate all. I get calls from rappers all the time and they say, "Hey, Doc, don't you shouldn't have said what you said because rappers gonna think you don't like them." No, I love rap. I love the rappers. I love hip hop. I grew up on it, but at the same time, I don't have a high tolerance for BS. My BS ometer is very, very sensitive, and when I see BS, I gotta walk out of the room or I gotta say something about it. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I gotta be honest because we ain't got much time. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is that anytime you see a celebrity on TV or in a magazine bragging about how much money he has, I think that you need to also say, well, can you brag about the results that you've gotten for the Black community? Not the results you got for white people, not the results you got on Silicon Valley, not the amount of money that you put in the pocket of Jake the jeweler, not the amount of money you spent at the Louis Vuitton store, but show me what you did in our community that's really making your old hood better. You put your hood in your videos because your hood gives you credibility. When you shoot a hip hop video and you got people around you, you stand at the liquor store and all the little kids in the hood, little kids wearing wife beaters and gold chains are standing around you riding bikes, and they got their little pit bull dogs and the pretty girls with the big booties and all this other stuff. You got all this stuff from the hood that validates you, that gives you hood cred. Well, that's cool. But at some point, the question I have to ask, this is a hard question because it makes me into the local asshole, but I got to do this. Somebody's got to do it. Is I'm going to ask, what in the lifestyle of those people in that hood has improved because of your success? At what point did you elevate the whole hood? At what point can the hood say, we used to be the hood, but now we're doing good? Seriously, if they was the hood, are they now doing good? Because it should be all good in the hood if you rose up off of the hood's power. If you allow the hood to give you the boost that you needed in order for you to be successful, then the hood should be doing maybe at least 1/10 as well as you are. Because if the hood is still the hood, and the poverty is still there, and the violence is still there, and the community is still broken down, and you can't find me at least 10,000 people who say their lives are better because of your success, then what was your purpose? Why were you here? And I ask you to consider that question. I humbly submit to any entertainer, because I know a lot of people watch the platform. I don't know who follows, but I humbly submit that this become a common conversation amongst anybody who considers himself a Black person of influence. Because I know I'm a Black person of influence. I know this. I'm not a rapper, but I'm kind of similar because I open my mouth and stuff comes out, and I do this around the world. This is what I do. So I ask anybody of influence in the Black community to start having these conversations and say, what I know what happened with me, but what about us? I know what I got, but how many hundreds or thousands of people can I say literally have a better life because of the things that I've done? And this is the question I ask myself every day. When I see y'all, when I go around the world and y'all recognize me in the street, I want to tell y'all a little secret. This is what I look for. When I listen to your stories, I patiently listen to your stories because I want to hear what you're doing. You know what's going through my mind? Is I'm looking for impact. I'm listening to say, what is it that I said that led to your life being better right now? What is it that, so if you ever want to get my attention, all you gotta do is say something like a brother in the airport. He said, I got my PhD because of you. I was like, really? Tell me about that. Another lady's like, we bought our first house because of something you said. I'm like, really? How did it go? Another family, oh, we started having family investment club meetings because of something you said. Really? Oh, are those your kids? Oh, wow, you got a smart mother. That's a smart dad you got, right? Like, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for impact. Do you understand? Do you understand? So again, but I don't have the influence of the rappers. I know this. This is not the society we live in. You know, Black ignorance is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. They will always fund Black people who will stand on stage, hold their testicles, shake their booties, and call themselves the N-word. They like that. That's the tradition of the minstrel show. And if you're in that category, I feel sorry for you. I hope that you can break out of that. But I will say to you that I think that those who have influence should also accompany that influence with consciousness. It's not that hard to do. Let me give you an example so you can understand this on a more concrete level. There is a singer by the name of Victory Boyd. Victory Boyd is such a great singer that she sang at the last All Black National Convention along with her family. They're kind of like the Jackson Five, except probably even more talented, to be honest with you. Or they're right up there. Let me just say that. They're right up there. She sang so well that she sang for Jay-Z. And Jay-Z signed her on the spot. Jay-Z immediately signed her to Rock Nation when he heard her sing. That's how good she sings. And I did not know this, but she told me, she mentioned this at a performance she did for some industry executives. She said, we were doing okay at Rock Nation. And then when Dr. Boyce put me on his platform, it went viral. And that's when things really started taking off. I didn't know I did that. I was really honored to be a part of that. So let me tell you, and this is Victory Boyd's a lady y'all need to look up. All y'all need to look up Victory Boyd. Her family's called Infinity Song. So let me tell you this more of the story about Victory Boyd. Let me tell you how I met her daddy, because I believe all Black daddies need to unite. He came to me. He brought her to one of my events in Baltimore. And she showed up very unassuming. She had a guitar on her back. I noticed the guitar, but I didn't think much of it. And he said, my daughter is a great performer. One day she's going to be famous. And I want her to remember where she came from. That's why I brought her here to this event. So I said, oh, well, very nice to meet you. And I shook her hand, and I did not know how talented she was. I did not know that she sang for Jay-Z and knocked him off his feet. I didn't know all these things. I just knew she was a performer. I meet a lot of performers. I meet tons of actors, actresses, singers. The list is long. So that day, she sang for everybody there. I said, the little meet and greet was almost over, and I saw her sitting there just quietly with a guitar on her back. And I said, oh, you're a singer. I said, why don't you sing something for us? That's my little test for entertainers. Like, can you perform on the spot? Like, if you're an entertainer, make sure you can do that. If you can perform on the spot, that makes you a stronger professional. So she says, okay, let me get my guitar ready and I'll sing something. I said, okay, great. No, all right, cool. So she starts singing. I'm expecting it to sound good. But the minute she opened her mouth, the whole room, like our jaws, like hit the floor. Like, oh my God. Like we knew we were seeing something really special. And she floored everybody. I mean, it was like that. Like if you hear this, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like I'm talking about Anita Baker, Sade level type, India Ari, whatever. Anyway, what I love about what her father did, and this is what every Black parent needs to do, is he said, you know, my daughter is going to be a superstar one day, and she is right now. Now she is. Now she's hanging out with people like Adele and stuff like that, and they're performing all around the world. And he wanted to make sure that she was grounded in the culture. Do you understand? She said, he said, you can go out into the world and be in the world, but you don't have to be of it. You don't have to be what all these other people are being, and you need to know who you are before you ever even get out there. And that's what I really respect about this family. So what I'm saying to you is that all of our entertainers need to do this. Everybody who's got a talented child, how many of y'all got talented kids? How many of y'all got a child that might grow up and do something special? I mean, I hope all of your kids ain't disappointing you. How many of y'all got kids? I got kids in our house. All three of the kids in our house are super smart, super capable, gonna go out and do great things. I'm super proud of all of them. How many of y'all got kids that are gonna do something special in the world? Give me a yes in the chat. If you have a child that is gonna be successful, rich, famous, powerful, whatever you think they're going to be, take the time to have a conversation with them about how important it is to never forget where you come from, to always stay grounded in the culture, to not be afraid to be B1, and to always come back and bring whatever greatness they collect from the world, bring it back home. You bring it back home. You got to bring it back home. If they do that, if everybody does that, instead of going off into Hollywood and suddenly thinking that you're like going to be a gay Jewish man or something, or you go off to the music industry, next thing you know, you're a weird drug addict doing hippie stuff, or you go to Europe and you become a European, you know, they call them Negropeans, right? That does not benefit anybody. I mean, it might look good on screen, but it doesn't actually end up benefiting the people who gave you your support when nobody gave a damn who you were. And that's, and so one of the things I humbly submitted, you know, with Kanye was, I said, you know, I get it, you know, the Kardashians. I said, but I honestly admit I wouldn't have married a Kardashian. I didn't marry a Kardashian. I married a Donda. My wife was a Donda. She was from Chicago. She's a professor from Chicago. I said, I wanted a Donda. I never would have wanted a Kardashian. Fake booties and all that. That wouldn't have been for me, because Kardashians would not be checking for you if you were a broke Negro in the projects. A Black woman will check for you in the garbage can. Seriously, like Black women will check for you in jail. Black women will check for you in the unemployment line. Like, really, I mean, not to say that it's bad, it's just true. You know, but Kardashians, they only check for Black people at the who are on stage at the hip hop concerts. They check for black men at the Grammys. They checking for Black men at the Super Bowl. That's what they looking for, Black men. So to me, that's an insult when you have people that will only accept you when you are at the top, but ignore you and neglect you and wouldn't care anything about you if you were at the bottom. So shout out to all the Black women who love us even when we are in the mud. I think that this is an important part of the culture, and but I also think that we have to do what we can to not be up in the mud. Don't be sitting in it. If you might get a little muddy. If you're a real Black man, you're gonna get muddy. You're gonna get dirty. I get dirty sometimes. I get some people throw mud at me, try to attack, whatever, try to fight. I don't care. I ain't scared of the white man. I ain't scared of crazy Black people. I ain't scared of none of that. You can't stop me. I'm a soldier. I'm not scared of none of y'all. So at the end of the day, I think in general, if you are a Black man and you are getting mud thrown at you or they drop you in the mud, you ain't got to stay in the mud. Get up, dust yourself off, take a shower, and keep fighting. You understand? Give me a yes in the chat if you get what I'm saying. And because I think it's very important that we have these kinds of conversations so we can know who the hell we are, where we come from, and what we all about. All right. So anyway, guys, I am going to go and go for a run with my wife so that I don't get fat. I want to say thank you so much for listening to this conversation. I apologize for those weird audio issues at the beginning. I'm trying to do stuff with my cameras and stuff, and sometimes I mess up the technology. I hope you'll forgive me for that. Quick reminder, really quick. If you want to join us October 20th at the All Black National Convention, or if you have a business and you want to do advertising at the convention, there's tons of Black people who love to buy black. Just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That is a URL. That is where you can get your information. Also, if you'd like to get Dr. Boyce profit alerts on stocks that I like each week, as well as a copy of our $5 a day investing plan, just text the word stock to 31996. Text stock to 31996. And last but not least, if you would like to get a copy of those financial flashcards that I was sharing earlier that cover credit and investing and all kinds of other stuff, feel free to go to financialflashcards.com. That's financialflashcards.com. All right, guys. So I'm on my way out of here. God bless you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you very, very much. And I love you. And I'll check in with you guys again real soon. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And please hit that notification bell, thumbs up, and all that stuff on your way out. I'll see you soon. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.